Janelle Brown, actress of Sister Wives, recently celebrated Thanksgiving, but it was a serious event for her. Kody is still dealing with the impact from Janelle, Christine, and Mary Brown leaving him for better futures. He only has Robyn Brown as his wife. Sister Wives Season 19 is currently airing. Janelle isn't scared to criticize Kody or withhold information from him, even after they split up. The Sister Wives cast is still in sorrow over the untimely death of Garrison Brown, who passed away in March 2024 at the age of 25. Janelle wrote about celebrating the American celebration a few days after Thanksgiving. Being the first major holiday since Garrison's passing, the Sister Wives actress experienced a very bittersweet and very melancholy day. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel TLC Flicks. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Janelle wrote a direct message to her late son in her Instagram comment, sharing her thoughts on the conflicting emotions she experienced on Thanksgiving. Even though they were in sorrow, Janelle and her family were able to laugh about Garrison's silly sense of humor and share a number of stories that paid tribute to him. She said that she and her family got together in North Carolina and kept your photo close by. Even though her family has moved back home and normal life will resume after Thanksgiving, Janelle still felt Garrison close by. A framed picture of her son as a little child was included in the message. Janelle was not the only Brown family member to honor Garrison. Recently, Christine Woolley and her husband David Woolley shared pictures of their new house, BAT. Christine once provided an update on the tree she planted in Garrison's honor, which she named Sedona Midnight, soon after his death. "She is the tree that is for Garrison," the Sister Wives star said before revealing that she named the tree after Garrison. A photographer shared a picture of the night sky from Sedona, Arizona. "When the tree gets big and tall, you'll just be able to sit under her and be enveloped in her love," Christine added, demonstrating the significance of this tree in their lives. She and David also acknowledged a humorous remark Garrison made about Sedona Midnight being a suitable name for an adult entertainer. In her Instagram post, Janelle made sure to keep the day as positive as possible despite the tragic circumstances. Everyone grieves the loss of a loved one in a different way, and while there are undoubtedly many tears shed, sharing touching and humorous stories and memories about the person with the rest of their family and friends is sometimes the best way to honor and pay tribute to them. Making a memorial, like Christine did with her tree, is another way to honor a loved one. As time goes on, Sedona Midnight will continue to grow and thrive, and Christine will be able to look at that tree whenever she is in her backyard and remember Janelle's son, who was a significant part of the Brown family and a valuable member of his community, especially with his dedication to helping animals. The name itself is a fitting tribute to Garrison, as he came up with that name for one of his photographs. Christmas is arguably the biggest holiday of the year, so Janelle will have to deal with the holiday season on a much grander scale over the next few weeks as she continues to grieve the loss of her son. Since she paid tribute to Garrison on Thanksgiving, she will likely do the same on Christmas. Since Garrison passed away in March, Thanksgiving was the first major holiday outside of Independence Day that usually involves a large family gathering. The holidays can be a joyful time to open presents, eat delectable food, and spend time with loved ones, but not everyone is that lucky, and there are people like Janelle who still have a lot of heartache and sadness that might not go away. Janelle will probably post another heartfelt tribute to her late son at the end of the month when she makes even more memories with her family on Christmas. After all, it will be the first Christmas without him. You can't really understand what Janelle has been going through for the past 9 months unless you've lost a child. She's been open with her social media followers about the grieving process and attempting to come to terms with the significant loss in her life, but she's also had to carry on with her normal life, which includes work, celebrating new milestones in her children's lives, and filming Sister Wives. It couldn't have been easy to celebrate Thanksgiving with one less person at the table, but she has a strong support network to help her feel better. Rather than settling for an unhappy life with Kody Brown, Sister Wives star Christine Brown bailed out, using her strength and courage to find something better. She made it look so easy, but it probably wasn't. In fact, she's a wonderful person who deserves happiness, and she may discover that combining love and money doesn't end well. Before she married David, the feisty, humorous, and nurturing Christine might have doubted herself. Maybe she felt the fear and left Kody anyhow. It takes true courage to feel fear and do what must be done. It's like fighting a war. People have had to be on the front lines with weapons in their hands, and they've had to face death. Of course, they were afraid. Christine's situation wasn't that bad, but the way her relationship with Kody broke down was like a soul death. David likely loves Christine a lot and considers her the queen of his heart, but if they push themselves too hard to use their fame for financial gain, Christine and Kody's Airbnb in Moab could become a true heartbreak hotel. Christine's spiritual union with Kody was loveless, but her wonderful children made it all worthwhile. Christine is a nice woman, and her kids, including the occasionally blustery Paydon Brown, are devoted to her. There are good reasons why running a business with a loved one can be disastrous, and anyone who has watched the conflicting family members who attempt to run restaurants on Kitchen Nightmares knows that family businesses can go dangerously wrong. For instance, they bought that house together and converted it into a hotel, and if they lose money on that endeavor, it could strain their relationship to the breaking point. Even if it succeeds, it's a process where they're trading their fame for money. As David becomes more well-known, he may miss his days as a private individual rather than a reality star and Airbnb host. At times, he may even feel like Christine's sidekick, rather than earning his fame on his own merits. Perhaps he'd rather be Batman than Robyn. Christine is a great homemaker, so this might not happen to her, but it could, and if it does, she might regret the entire endeavor. Kody and Robyn Brown meet Christine and David for the first time above, via Entertainment Tonight at YouTube. Can you imagine what they were saying behind one another's backs before that fatal encounter? If those behind-the-scenes moments were broadcast, viewers' ears would be scorching. The tension is high, David is giving it his all, and Kody is as irritable and paranoid as ever in this clip, which is classic sister-wives material with a little of spice. However, David didn't really want to be on the program and occasionally feels uneasy when the cameras are rolling. Although he doesn't seem like a nasty guy, he may be suffering since when he agreed to go on the show, he was essentially agreeing to be criticized online like all the other Sister Wives stars. Prior to this, he was Christine's companion and received some attention. Putting David on the show could backfire because, despite his obvious love for his wife, he may feel that life was easier before Sister Wives. It's a matter of how he adjusts to being on TV and how much he's willing to live with. Christine probably wants to show the world that she can have a happy relationship. Who could blame her? Kody was frequently a jerk to Christine, igniting her jealousy and putting her down. The problem is that their relationship is so public, the couple should proceed cautiously to avoid ending up in Heartbreak Hotel. Privacy is precious, and hopefully David can truly adjust to losing it. If not, he may want to leave the high-profile relationship. Christine may also want money, and putting David, who once made fun of Kody, on Sister Wives is an easy way to stay relevant. It also increases her appeal on the show, and it might even lead to a spin-off. After leaving Utah in 2020 with her fellow former Sister Wives, Janelle Brown and Mary Brown, following closely behind, Sister Wives star Christine Brown criticized her ex-husband and show villain Kody Brown amid recent criticism of her husband David Woolley, who has serious red flags. Despite their nearly 30-year marriage, Christine's behavior toward Kody hasn't been consistent with their long-term history, and in the years since, her relationship with Kody has become even more strained. Throughout Sister Wives Season 19, Christine has brought her new partner, David, into the family, to the reluctance of many. In a recent Instagram post, Christine purposefully made fun of Kody while showcasing some footage from her recent trip to Italy with David. The video shows Christine climbing the Leaning Tower of Pisa's steps, clearly struggling before reaching the top, and includes some pictures of herself and David during their trip. Christine added a little of her trademark sarcasm to the caption, writing, "I have learned in my life, and in Pisa, sometimes the most beautiful views come after the hardest climbs," with a red heart emoji to highlight the post. Christine has been happily dating David for the past couple of years, but she hasn't completely moved on from her marriage to Kody and the emotional turmoil it caused. She made it clear that her marriage to Kody isn't easy by adding a sarcastic comment to the caption of her post. The couple's marriage, which was his third in the 1990s, was featured on the early seasons of Sister Wives and produced 6 children together, the majority of whom are now adults and have moved out on their own. Although she may not be specifically disparaging Kody, she is undoubtedly making fun of her ex-husband and their marriage. Throughout Sister Wives season 19, Christine has been candid about the problems she encountered in her marriage to Kody and how her life has improved since then. Although things with David aren't always ideal, Christine is happier than ever in her new relationship and is optimistic that she will be able to spend the rest of her life with someone who brings her such joy. The Sister Wives star is starting a new chapter in her life and is putting her peace first. Despite the shady caption, her post is inspirational in nature as she has discovered that even through the hard times, she can find a sense of peace. Although she frequently finds herself calling people out publicly more than she probably wants to, sharing her story should not be something she is ashamed of. Rather, she should feel proud to say she has overcome some of the hardest times of her life and found peace on the other side. Kody Brown is the most complex character for fans of polygamist reality television. He was first introduced to the American public on TLC's Sister Wives in 2010, and at the time, he was the proud husband of 3 wives, Mary, Janelle, and Christine Brown. He was also in the process of adding Robyn Brown, who would become his 4th wife, to the mix. At the time, he gave Variety an explanation of why he and his family chose to be followed by cameras in order to share their lives with the world, part of the reason for coming out, and is not only gaining acceptance but lowering prejudice, he said. We hope this helps to have all of society understand it. Over the course of multiple seasons over more than 10 years, the show has drawn hordes of viewers who have witnessed the family's polygamous way of life change from one of peace and contentment to a never-ending barrage of tabloid-friendly drama, filled with rage, guilt, and harsh language, with Kody Brown at its core, having been thrust into reality TV stardom while going through some extremely painful circumstances. In 1990, Kody Brown married his first wife, Mary Brown, marking the beginning of his road to polygamy. After years of infertility, the couple welcomed their first child together in 1995, Leon, who came out as transgender in 2022. Although Kody has never publicly acknowledged that Mary's infertility issues influenced his decision to become spiritually married to Janelle in 1993 and then to Christine in 1994, it's easy to understand how his inability to father a child with Mary would lead the aspiring polygamist to attempt, and ultimately succeed, to do so with another wife. Leon is actually Kody's 3rd child, with subsequent wives Janelle and Christine Brown each bearing children prior to Leon's arrival. Mary wrote in her 2012 book, Becoming Sister Wives, the story of an unconventional marriage, about her desperate desire to have another child with Kody and her ecstatic happiness when she unexpectedly became pregnant over 10 years after her first child, only to lose the baby after just a few months. It broke my heart, Mary wrote. Kody Brown's decision to take on 2 more wives in quick succession threw him into the world of polygamy. He realized he had taken on more than he could handle when he looked back at his 3rd wife, Christine Brown, who had entered the picture so soon after his 2nd wife, Janelle Brown. I was 25, I already had 2 wives, and Janelle was expecting our first child, he wrote in Becoming Sister Wives. The thought of trying to bring Christine into our family gave me serious pause, he added, acknowledging that he was nervous at his 3rd wedding. Suddenly, I felt the weight of the world on my shoulders. As Kody reflected about their wedding on an episode of Sister Wives, he recalled how terrified he was at the time. I had a 1,000-yard stare, and I wasn't engaged into the experience, he said. It was hard. Years later, when reflecting on Christine's arrival into the family, Brown was much less tactful, accusing her of forcing herself on him before he was ready. Christine forced herself into my life, she basically just insisted that we be married, Brown grumbled in a 2023 Sister Wives confessional. In order to legally wed Robyn Brown, his 4th wife, and adopt her children from a previous relationship, Kody Brown divorced Mary Brown, who was his only legal spouse at the time, in one of the more traumatic episodes of Sister Wives. Robyn explained in a 2015 episode that the biological father of her children was not involved in their lives and did not provide any financial support. If anything happened to Robyn, we'd have no legal claim on Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna, Mary said. But Kody was concerned about how their relationship might be affected by Mary's divorce. "What will happen to you and me?" Janelle Brown voiced her own worries that Kody will begin to prioritize Robyn over his other spouses as he asked Mary. "It's an end of something that we had, in a way, for 24.5 years, Mary said during that emotionally charged episode, "but at the same time, I know it's not, because I have eternity with him, I have eternity with the family." Mary was able to handle the divorce and losing her position as Kody's only legitimate wife on an intellectual level, but on an emotional level, she felt as though her knees had been knocked out from under her. "I'm aware that it's not the end." When Kody Brown's third wife, Christine Brown, revealed in a shocking Instagram post in November 2021, "After more than 25 years together, Kody and I have grown apart and I have made the difficult decision to leave," she wrote, adding, "We will continue to be a strong presence in each other's lives as we parent our beautiful children and support our wonderful family." Anyone who regularly watched TLC's Sister Wives could likely see that tensions were forming within Kody Brown's polygamous family. As she later revealed in an interview with People, watching Christine leave the family made her realize that she was just as unhappy in her relationship with Kody as Christine had been. "But I still felt like I should be loyal out of obligation," she said, explaining why she hadn't left earlier. When she finally admitted to herself just how bad things had become, and how much she wanted to start over, everything finally clicked for Kody. A little more than a year later, second wife Janelle Brown made her own announcement that she had also decided to leave, breaking the news in a Sister Wives special. "I might have stayed if Christine hadn't left, but all right, it's over," Janelle remarked. Despite how strained their relationships grew, Kody stated in a September 2024 episode of Sister Wives that he never would have left his women. "I wasn't ever going to leave them, no matter how much I didn't love them," he said plainly, "but they made choices that separated us. And perhaps I made decisions that caused us to drift apart, but they eventually went on." When Mary followed Janelle and Christine Brown out the door, Kody Brown had just 2 wives left after Janelle Brown left the family, Robyn Brown and Mary Brown. "After more than a decade of working on our relationship in our own unique ways, we have made the decision to permanently terminate our marriage relationship," Mary wrote on Instagram in January 2023. Viewers watched her make the painful decision to leave Kody when the new season of Sister Wives aired later that year. "I know it's not fair for me to be alone like I have been for years," Mary said in an episode from November 2023, "I really feel like I was emotionally abandoned by him many years ago." Suddenly, the most well-known polygamist on television could no longer claim that title, since he now only had one wife, and he was legally married to her. "I didn't know who she was when we got married," Kody said in a 2024 episode as he reflected on the issues that had arisen between him and his wife number 1 Mary. According to his candid interview, "I think there's just some baggage that Mary had that I didn't know about initially. She was very different. I thought I could put up with it. She is always upset with me, and I can't live in such world." There were other rifts in Kody Brown's family besides the fact that 3 of his wives had broken off their marriages to him. In actuality, he also had tense ties with Garrison, Gabe, and Janelle Brown, 2 of his sons. Kody acknowledged that he was at odds with those sons for disobeying his house rules over the COVID-19 epidemic during a February 2022 Sister Wives one-on-one program. "We're not very good," he said, "not talking. It's like one of those relationships where we've got to do a lot of work." In the end, the tension reached a point that Kody was about to expel the 2 boys from the family house. Kody and Gabe's relationship became even more strained when, according to a 2023 episode, the 21-year-old broke down in tears on camera after his father forgot his birthday altogether. Kody and Gabe's relationship was in shambles by 2024. During a Sister Wives episode in October, Gabe informed his mother that Kody had called to greet him but appeared to be seeking an apology, which Gabe felt was unnecessary. He recalled that Kody texted him and recommended they forgive one another. "Eventually, I was just like, hey, unless you're, actually ready to have a relationship and fix things, then we're not going to talk anymore," he said. "Forgive me for what? I thought. What's happening?" "I informed Dad that I would never see him again if he didn't change and couldn't accept responsibility. And that's totally fine with me," Kody Brown has had disagreements with his kids in addition to his problems with sons Garrison and Gabe. He claimed that several of his children were separating from him in an October 2024 Sister Wives episode. "They're purposefully leaving me out of their lives to punish me for a crime I did not commit," he stated. "I am only guilty of not falling madly in love with their mothers." He discussed his complaints with his daughter Madison "Maddie" Brown Brush, one of his children, with wife Janelle Brown, later in the same show. "Every time I talk to her, she spreads gossip about me to the rest of the family," he said. "Our family was killed by gossip." Although his daughter didn't directly reply, a lot may be inferred from a post she made on Instagram stories shortly after that episode aired about how to deal with family members who undermine one's moral character. "A snake only sheds its skin to be a bigger snake," she said. "Let people walk away from you if they become victims of that. The snake will eventually bite them as well." Maddie revealed in a podcast that she had completely broken off contact with Kody and was no longer in contact with him, indicating that he was not happy about being shunned. "I won't talk about her," Kody said icily when a Sister Wives director questioned him about her during a confessional piece. No. Kody Brown was in a non-polygamous marriage with Robyn Brown as his only spouse after 3 of his wives left him. This was a situation he hadn't been in since the early 1990s and one he had never imagined himself in. Robyn talked candidly with People before the 2024 season debut of Sister Wives about how her relationship with Kody had deteriorated after the other cast members left. "No one should be married while they're going through a divorce," she stated. "It's been hell." She went on to say that she would not allow Kody to continue trying to ruin their relationship, whether on purpose or not. Kody Brown was likewise struggling to adjust to his new situation as a single husband. At 2024, he stated, "Robyn and I are really, kind of, in a struggling place," during an episode of Sister Wives. "We're probably doing the worst we've ever done in our marriage," Robyn said on the same episode. "It's been tough between us." Kody was feeling defensive and offended as she said this, and he hadn't begun to worry that Robyn might be considering leaving with her sister spouses. "Kody's feeling a lot of rejection, so I think he's kind of looking at me going, 'Are you going to reject me too?' she said. Every parent's worst nightmare came true for Kody Brown in March 2024 when he announced the death of his son, Garrison, on Instagram. "Janelle and I are deeply saddened to announce the loss of our beautiful boy Robert Garrison Brown," he captioned the image of Garrison. "He brought joy to everyone he came into contact with. We shall be left speechless by the void our loss will create in our lives." Suicide was suspected, according to the Los Angeles Times, but a wellness check was ordered when he sent a troubling text, which is how he was found dead. Kody Brown revealed in an interview with People that his greatest regret regarding their connection at the time of Garrison's passing was that he wished he had spent more time with him. "I'd like to have supper out one more. I'd like to take a seat. I'd like a beer," said Kody. "Garrison was that way, so I want him to try to make me laugh. The only thing I regret is that I wish I had done that more frequently." According to an August 2024 News story, Kody Brown and his surviving wife Robyn Brown have discreetly advertised their Flagstaff, Arizona, house. The Sister Wives patriarch had given the house, which was on a 2-acre plot of ground where he had intended to construct further houses for his now ex-wives, the nickname Coyote Pass. The outlet claimed that the $1.65 million home has 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and a 4-car garage. Despite the outward impression of Kody Brown's opulent lifestyle, a source told The Sun that he attempted to sell because he and Robyn were compelled to list the house for sale due to financial constraints. Kody and Robyn listed their home because it's become a huge expense that they no longer can afford, especially now with the family torn apart, an alleged insider stated in the newspaper. In the meantime, it seemed that all of his grand plans to expand the property had fallen through. They haven't done any work on Coyote Pass because of how much it will cost to build and, of course, stopped their plans altogether once the wives left, said a source. The success of Sister Wives brought Kody Brown notoriety and fame, making him perhaps the most well-known polygamist in America. He was considered the quintessential poster child for polygamy. That all changed when 3 of Brown's 4 wives departed his multiple marriage, leaving him in a startlingly conventional marriage with just 1 wife. In a People interview from 2023, Kody noted that he had been content with his polygamous marriage but had not realized how unhappy Janelle, Christine, and Mary Brown had been. "I loved our situation," he remarked. "It just seemed like not everybody else did." Kody maintained that, in spite of the result, he sincerely hoped that everything would work out but ultimately was unable to do so. "It broke my heart that we couldn't transcend our differences," he stated. "It's a fact of life. I cherished our way of life." The breakup of his multiple families was likened to a Shakespearean love story that's a tragedy, he said grandiosely, adding, "It's just we loved and we lost." While acknowledging that he had no idea what the future held, Kody looked forward to the day when he would be able to get out of his current rut and face the future with optimism. "Maybe I'll find that optimism for the future," he replied. "In the end, hopefully we just love each other and let each other move on." Let us know in your comments. And stay tuned by subscribing our channel to get more updates like this. Thanks everyone.